Welcome back to On the Clock and Over It, the podcast where we expose workplace nonsense with humor, a little bit of therapy, and a whole lot of solidarity.
Today, we're talking about the disappearing act. You know, the boss who is nowhere to be found when you need them, but magically reappears just in time to take credit, pass the blame, or give you a totally unnecessary speech.
Oh, this one's gonna hit home for a lot of people, because what's worse than a bad boss? A boss who vanishes at the first sign of responsibility.
You could be fighting for your life on a project, and somehow their calendar is mysteriously booked up with nothing.
And just when you think you've fully absorbed their job duties, they swoop back in at the last second like, wow, we really pulled through, huh?
Yep, and today's listener submission is one of the worst cases of vanishing act we've heard. Get ready. This one comes from an anonymous listener we'll call Left in the Lurch. Here's what they had to say.
So, I was working on a massive project, one of those this will make or break the company kind of deals. My boss had been heavily involved in the planning, but as soon as we got closer to the deadline, they just vanished. No emails, no calls, no updates. It was like they had been abducted by aliens.
Not the aliens.
At first, I assumed they were just busy, so I kept pushing forward. But then I realized, nope, they were completely MIA. Like Slack, radio silence. Meetings, oh, something came up, let's reschedule. Emails left on red.
Classic. You can't even take a lunch break without a quick check-in, but they disappear like a bad Tinder date.
With the deadline approaching and no direction from my boss, I had no choice but to take over. I led the client meetings, finalized every detail, and somehow managed to get it all done flawlessly. Then the day after everything was submitted, guess who suddenly showed up? Yep, my boss, strolling in all casual like, hey, we really pulled through on this one, huh?
Oh no, they didn't. I'd have been sick that day. I physically cannot watch someone take credit for my work without my blood pressure rising.
And the kicker? When leadership congratulated the team, my boss jumped in with a whole speech about how we had to navigate challenges, but we worked through it together. Meanwhile, I'm standing there like, sir, where were you?
The audacity. They didn't even have the decency to soft launch their return.
After that, I started CCing higher-ups on everything and made sure my contributions were loud and clear. My boss kept trying to coast, but leadership eventually caught on. And let's just say, their next project was finding a new job. I just need a minute, because how do these people sleep at night?
On a pillow stuffed with stolen credit, probably.
This is what I don't get. Do they think we don't notice? Like, sir, you were gone. You didn't even fake a circling back email.
They act like if they reappear at the last second, we'll just forget they ghosted an entire project.
And let's talk about why disappearing bosses are a whole problem, not just an annoyance. 1, they create chaos. No leadership equals no direction, more stress, and more work for everyone else. 2, they push their work onto others. Who's actually handling the crisis they just ran from? Not them. And 3, they take credit without the effort, because why do the work when you can just claim it at the end?
Exactly. So what can you do if your boss pulls the Houdini act? Step 1, document everything. Keep timestamps, emails, meeting no-shows, and task handoffs. If you're handling their responsibilities, make sure they're on record. Step 2, loop in leadership strategically. If the work is suffering, let the right people know. Frame it as, hey, I want to make sure we're aligned, so I'm reaching out directly. Step 3, make your work visible. Start presenting your own work, CCing higher-ups, and making sure your name is attached to the results. Step 4, prepare for their grand return, because you know they're coming back as soon as there's credit to take. Call it out professionally. Example, yes, I handled X, Y, and Z while you were out, and here's the final result. Step 5, set boundaries if they try it again. If they disappear but still want to check in later, hit them with, I'd love to update you, but since I was managing it solo, I already finalized everything.
Translation, nope, you don't get to retroactively insert yourself now.
Moral of the story, if your boss disappears when work gets hard but magically reappears when it's time for applause, don't let them take the credit.
And listen, if you've got a disappearing act boss, just know their performance is going to catch up with them. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon.
Got a story about a boss who ghosted their responsibilities? Submit it at the link in the show notes and we might feature it.
And don't forget, subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with a coworker who knows the struggle. Until next time, stay clocked in,
but not too checked out.